So in the role of marketing, it could be very complex, it could be very tedious, it could also be very time consuming, especially when you have a specific strategy and using multiple types of content to really reach out there to nurture and support your customers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you as to how we use a specific workflow where after creating a blog, we use HubSpot Content Assistant and we use specific features inside of HubSpot when it's time to now move that blog out to a social post and then now schedule all of that post, but you're all doing it in one particular pane across multiple channels to make your life easy as a marketer. All right, let's check it out. We would have just recently published one of our most recent articles, and that speaks to pipeline management, right? And the importance of building successful pipelines. There's an idea as to what that looks like. And now that's actually gone out, so it would have gone out to our blog subscribers. But as we know, because we have so many different social platforms or channels that we want to distribute to, we would now want to have this distributed across to our social platforms to bring more awareness and grow our organic reach, etc., etc. Right. So how do we go about doing that within HubSpot? Now, there's a pretty cool way as it relates to workflows that we like to show marketers as to how HubSpot has really made that easy. Now, traditionally, what folks will do when they want to use social, once you have your Marketing Pro subscription, is that they will go to the social side, and then of course they will go here where they will want to create a post. But then within doing that, you still have to come and find this particular post, paste it in the thing. It's not the most fluid way of actually doing that. So what we will be doing is that we are actually going to go, HubSpot actually gives you the ability of looking at going into the backend as to where your blogs are, right? This is provided that you're using your blogs within the HubSpot platform, right? And then from here, you can go to where it says more, and then you can go to share. And when you go to share, what will happen is that it will bring out the same page, but it's just bringing it out from the side. And what we could do now is that we have the ability to identify which channels that we would like to have this blog. So the blog is already attached to it, right? And based upon the respective social channels that you want to distribute to, they are already here. So what I could do is that, of course, this is just maybe so much so like a generic write-up that's going to be sort of distributed all across here, but I want to be a little bit more creative with that. So let me just highlight this, and I would maybe want to use HubSpot Content Assistant. So we're going to do a little bit of an introduction to HubSpot AI tools here. And if I were to click summarize this blog content, HubSpot's Content Assistant is going to be looking at the blog, and when I click generate, it's going to work on generating a summary of the blog post for me. Now I could have taken a different approach for that, where so this is the summary, and once I'm happy with it, of course, I have the ability of clicking, right? And I say, okay, I'm going to go with this. So this is draft, and this is going to kind of go across all of the respective social platforms. But what if I want to maybe make a change? So I don't want to use Instagram in this instance. So what I'll do here is that I'm going to take Instagram out of it, and I only wanted to go to Facebook, Instagram, and to Twitter, all right? But I want the posts to be different. So in this instance, I'm going to do, so for the Facebook, I don't want to use this copy, all right? And so I just showed you as to how you can kind of automatically generate with HubSpot's Content Assistant a copy for yourself. But let's just say I have my own set of prompts. So I have a Facebook prompt that I want to use here that I've already written out. So I'm going to copy this. And each one is kind of different because I have it saying certain things that I'm not going to go into right now. So if I go here and I'll click, so I click paste. So this is for the Facebook one, and I can click generate. Oh, I think I did that wrong. I think it says LinkedIn. Let me just double check that. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so it would have generated the copy. So if I click insert, it now has the inserted thing here, and it indicates where that is. So let's say this is actually for Facebook. The cool thing too is that I could now, instead of now distributing this across these particular social channels all at once, I can now schedule. So let's say, for instance, I do want this to go out, but I actually wanted to go out at 2:08 p.m. Well, this afternoon, all right? And if there was a particular campaign, I could actually now have a campaign that's attached to this. And also, if there's a specific audience that I would like to have it targeted to, I can put that in here as well. Now let's look at the LinkedIn. So we want to take this again. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to say with this one, it's kind of the same thing as your Facebook, but again, so if you already have your copies written out, what you can do is you can either put the entire copy that's in here already, that's already written, or you can ask for the summary, or you can use this. You can have it generate that content for you. And of course, you still have the ability of, when it is generated, you could say, you know what, I actually don't like this section, so I need to maybe take that out, right? And I think I'll just be happy with that. So once I'm happy with that, if I need to make any additional changes, maybe in terms of what I want the top to say, right? And I don't want this one to go at the same time. I actually want this one to come out at maybe around 4:53 this afternoon. So notice that the time has actually changed here. Again, I have the same thing. Do I want to have this added to another campaign? The answer is no, so I take that out, right? Now, there's something that I just did that was pretty interesting. Let's say I wanted to have a backup on this, right? Let's say I wanted to have a follow-up as it relates to this particular post. I can actually now create another post, right, that could be similar to this as a follow-up and have it go out at a totally different time. So this one I could actually be next week at the same time. That still ties into this because I want to repeat this post. I want to push this particular blog article for the rest of the week. All right, but I have a different copy altogether. And once I have that, this one can now go out for next week, but it's going out at 11. All right, so again, I find this pretty cool within HubSpot's platform. So now I have two posts that's set up within LinkedIn, for one for today at a specific time, one for next week at a specific time, but it's both tied back to the same blog. And for Twitter, I'll just make this one quick. For Twitter, let's say I have a tweet. So I have this one as a copy for this. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to go into Content Assistant, and I'm going to say, you know what, let's just do this, and let's generate that. Let's see what it gives me. All right, so I'm going to insert. Notice in this one, so it's actually telling me I'm a little bit over the limit, which is fine. So I'm going to maybe take this out. All right, the link might be in there anyway. So if I wanted to pull the link, let's see, copy. Let's drop the link in here just for, all right. And so it's pulled the link, but what if I wanted to put my own image? So I can actually now pull my own image. And again, I'm doing all of this from right within HubSpot. All right. And I want this one, not today, but I maybe want this to go out on Friday, and it can go out on Friday at 11. So what I would have just done here, folks, is that I have actually 3 out of 1 blog that was published today. I now have 3 social posts that's scheduled to go out today, one tomorrow and next week, and then the other one that's going to go out maybe today or tomorrow or Friday at a different time. And this is where really understanding the platform. So if I wanted to save these things as draft, or if I wanted to go ahead and schedule, let me just go ahead and schedule. I could always go back in. These are the actual schedules, and I can click OK from here. Once I click OK, it's going to go in to the actual calendar. So let's take a look at what that looks like. All right. So now if I were to go back to social, and if I were to, let's say I exit from here and I do a refresh, let's see what shows up in our October calendar, content calendar. So we have 2 posts that's going to come up today. We have one that's coming up on Friday, and then we have this one here that's coming up next week. And this is how we can take advantage of HubSpot in a one smooth workflow once we understand exactly what we're doing to kind of make our lives better and use the tools to help us be more efficient in what we do. So when it comes to using HubSpot, one of the reasons as to why we like it is because it really helps us maximize our workflows, helps us be a lot more efficient. That for us, that entire flow is extremely smooth. Content Assistant, as much as it's an AI tool, it just helps us kind of craft an ideation. Sometimes we have our copy that's already set, so we already know what we want to say. That Content Assistant may never help us say correctly, and so we just copy and paste it in there. But again, it's working in a specific space and having a smooth workflow and scheduling accordingly. Hope that worked out. Let me know what you feel about that in the comments. Peace.